So lately I've been really enjoying focusing on the white crane aspect of Five Ancestors and seeing how it relates to the other forms of crane I've had a chance to train with. So it's been a lot of fun. Of course, Okinawan crane's an interesting story and hybrid and evolution of Southern Chinese crane, but having trained in a couple branches of crane that went to Singapore and Malaysia, and then also training feeding crane from Taiwan, training ancestral crane from Taiwan through the Yang Ling lineage, things like that. It's interesting to see the similarities and differences. Really, the core is the same, the engine, that kind of thing. So anyhow, it's interesting because Five Ancestors is such a large system. It includes all these styles from the Fujian province, all these like the most popular styles, just a conglomeration of all that. So there's all this crane training in Five Ancestors. That's lots of finger strikes, different kinds of finger strikes to the eyes from different angles, deflecting on their way in, eyes and throat, strikes to the groin as well. But of course, power is the most important thing. Like, do you have the power? Do you have inch power, joint power, short power, trembling power? These different ways of expressing energy. And you do these things at short range. So I'm thinking I might write I've been thinking about writing an article for Bugeisha, and I think I might present some information about Five Ancestors, some of the real similarities to Okinawan karate, some of the differences, highlight similarities and differences. I think it'd be really interesting for people. Been spending a lot of time working on improving my Chinese reading skills, translating, transcribing, better understanding, cross-checking poems between Five Ancestors and White Crane. Lots of interesting information, really, really interesting. for my students for now, but then also my teacher and I are going to compile what we have and probably put out a book to the public. So I think that'll be cool. Morning, guys. Hopefully you guys are up for training this morning. Hopefully you guys are up, getting warmed up, ready for class or for your own training. Oh yeah. So crane, definitely a lot about the fingers. So in Five Ancestors, they talk about a specific physical attribute, specific mental attributes about each of the ancestors, and crane is typically about the fingers, so there's definitely finger training. Targets, of course, for self-defense, especially if you're a female. Of course, the myth around the style is that it was created by a woman, and expecting that she would have to be sneaky and use her speed and skills to her advantage against people whose physical attributes might be stronger. You can't toughen your eyeballs. You can certainly toughen parts of your throat, but the throat's another target, and then the groin, of course. So eyes, throat, and groin, all centerline targets. The flank's very hardened, right? So this stuff is all in the center line. It's a bit dangerous. But flanking, of course, like all the poems about the crane say things like, 1,000 neutralizations. They say things like many changes are important, changes like hua. They talk about neutralizing 1,000 pounds with 4 ounces. Right? An interesting saying, poem, 5-character poem, I believe, that made it all the way. Made its way to Japan and ended up in judo. Even I've seen it in judo books. But yeah, so the crane's about neutralization, stepping offline, avoiding power on power, attacking vital targets, that kind of thing. So, we have things like elegant phoenix tail, which is different than this stuff, this larger techniques you'll see in Okinawan crane. Splitting, crossing the shoulder, which means to attack the eyes from the outside gate. All kinds of piercing techniques, vertical, horizontal, two finger, all kinds of finger attacks to the eyes and the throat, those kinds of things. Good questions. Good morning, guys. So being soft in your body until you explode is an important concept. To be coiled in your own frame. So some of the poems say, you know, the arm has 3 segments. The upper segment, the shoulder, drops. The middle segment plays the 4 energies: sink, swallow, spit, and float. And the hands move like the tail of a swimming dragon. So it's important, right? Because the principles of these arts is that the hands protect the head, the elbows protect the body, the legs protect the legs, right? So keeping the elbows sunk is super important in styles from this part of China. So you got to stay relaxed so you can explode. If you're not relaxed, of course, all your muscle groups in your body they're pairs, right? So you have these antagonistic muscles, biceps, triceps. Any excess tension in my bicep creates a drag force on my ability to extend. So I have to stay as loose as I can, as long as I can, until the explosion. The explosion that Fa Jing talks about. Fa. Elbow drive the engine of the arm. You could say that. Good question. Yeah, the elbow is really critical. It's a critical point. So that's why in the poems it says the elbow is responsible for the spit and the swallow. So that's where a lot of the power. It's where the extension happens mostly. Right, the shoulder moves 15 degrees. What the elbow might move, 120. So it's definitely more responsible. The initial bridge is most important, right? So whether you're going to deflect and then counter, deflect, move the body, or deflect and hit with the other arm, deflect and hit with the other arm, deflect and hit with the other arm, or you're going to use the same arm to deflect and hit in the same motion with one arm only. Or you use the assisting hand, the hutao, the other hand that assists, right? So if this is going to take too long to get there, then the sibling hand helps, right? This other hand helps ensure that you're covered while you're coming into attack, right? So the hands, of course, work together. It's almost silly to even have a principle that says hands work together. Why wouldn't they? Right? The body needs to work together. The hands work together. The harmonies of the body, the shoulders and the hips, the knees and the elbows, hands and the feet, all these things, like, to say they have to work together is kind of obvious, I think. Anyhow, see if anybody has any other questions.